Whatever you do, don't buy an OLED monitor right now. What's up guys, I'm Cray and welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking about the brand new Gigabyte Tandem OLED technology. So QD OLEDs used to be the best thing that money could buy. Think of this as the QD OLED 2.0. Basically double everything. Double the performance, double the power efficiency, double the panels, and double the performance. Did I say performance twice? The Tandem OLEDs also use 2 layers of light emitting material, which means not only double everything, but also double the brightness. That was the big thing for me with OLED monitors, is like, if you're not playing in a dark room, it kind of didn't make sense to play on an OLED monitor because everything was super dark. But now with the Tandem OLEDs, we don't have that issue anymore. So first things first, let's talk about what makes Tandem OLEDs different from any other traditional OLED on the market and why you should even buy this compared to the $400 or $500 OLED that you're looking at right now. First of all, I do want to clarify that this isn't Gigabyte just slapping a new name on an old idea. This is actual new technology, which is something that we haven't really heard of in the PC industry in a few years because it seems like everybody's just rebranding our old stuff. This monitor is the brand new 4th generation of WOLED. And more importantly, it's using primary RGB Tandem OLED technology. And I'll get into that in just a second, but this thing is actually insane and it's an innovation from the monitors that we're using right now. But the whole process of Tandem OLED is actually simpler than you think when you start to break it down. Think of every traditional OLED panel. It's one single OLED layer working as hard as it possibly can to reach peak brightness, color, and HDR targets. But now with Tandem OLEDs, you have 2 OLED layers that are sharing the load. So neither panel has to push itself to its full capacity, which means not only is this panel gonna stay cooler, but it's also gonna be brighter, it's gonna have better blacks, it's gonna have better sRGB technology, and the color accuracy is going to be absolutely insane. But Gigabyte didn't stop there. So WOLED stands for white OLED, and normally that would mean adding a white subpixel to every pixel to brighten up the monitor a little bit. But the new primary RGB Tandem system basically eliminates the weird color compromises that the WOLEDs had. So with this monitor, you're not gonna get any weird pink tint whites or any off-angle color shifting whatsoever because the HDR highlights are actually coming from 2 different panels, which means that your HDR highlights aren't gonna be washed out. You're not gonna have super dark blacks. They're actually gonna look like real life. Now let's actually talk about brightness because this is the part that surprised me the most. Every OLED reviewer, guru person in the world always says the same exact thing. OLED panels look absolutely amazing, but don't use them in direct sunlight or don't have a light behind you because there's going to be a glare, there's going to be reflections. It's OLED, it's just how it works. Tandem OLED literally doesn't care. I know you can probably see a slight reflection in the camera, but to the naked eye, there are absolutely no reflections on this monitor whatsoever. Because when you double the emitting layers in the panels, you're doubling the light output before it even hits the color layer, which means that you're getting twice the brightness before it even colors the screen. And the result is you get a significantly brighter monitor than any QD OLED, any WOLED on the market, and most IPS displays. Wait till we get into the price point and you'll see exactly why this OLED is the new in-game monitor. Now on to the colors of this monitor. So before this, QD OLED, absolute best you can get. It was the only thing that I recommended personally because that was the closest thing to the human eye that you could possibly see. And yes, QD OLED was the top dog until Tandem OLED stepped in. So this one has way cleaner primary colors, and you remember when I was talking about that white OLED thing where it kind of made the pinks white? Well, it also made the reds like really red, and this doesn't do that. So you get a lot more accurate red whenever you're looking at this monitor. Basically, if you're doing anything with color, video editing, photo editing, Blender especially, this is going to be huge for the brand because you're getting a much higher peak brightness and a much more stable color at that peak brightness. This is the new WOLED of its time. Okay, I think it's time we stop yapping about specs on paper and talk about what this thing can actually do. And I figured what better way to test out what kind of brightness that this thing can actually achieve than a nice Stellamonus night raid in Arc Raiders, which I haven't even turned it on yet, so I don't know if there's a night raid going on, but we're gonna do a night raid somewhere. Now, big kicker to me, for some reason, I don't have headphones on this setup at all, but this monitor does have a built-in speaker, which is actually decent I didn't realize how good it was until I played on this monitor without headphones, but it sounds pretty freaking good. It's like having a sound bar on your setup. Wow, we have literally no night raids whatsoever, so not gonna be able to test it in a night raid for another hour and 49 minutes, but I am excited to test it in a cold snap. That's the new mode on Arc Raiders, and I'm excited to see what the snow is gonna look like on a free loadout, because I can't be showing y'all my inventory because that's embarrassing. Now for measure, I have studio lights all over the place, and I don't know if you guys can see in camera, but I see absolutely no glare whatsoever. Gosh, this monitor looks good. This might be one of the best looking monitors that I've seen in a long time, and I'm not just saying that because Gigabyte's watching. I'm saying that because, dude, everything is so beautiful right now. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and say, without even looking at the footage that you're watching right now, that the camera's not going to do this justice. There is no absolute way. Come on, bro, leave me alone. I'm trying to film a video right now, big dog. Get out of my life, bro. Dude, these Arc are getting crazy nowadays, right? So that was Arc Raiders at 280 Hertz at 1440p, capped at 60 FPS to get the smoothest frames possible. So you could only imagine how good of a gaming experience I just had on this monitor. But now we're gonna load up some Star Citizen and test out the blacks and the grays and the blues and see just how crazy this monitor can get. And look at this, you can kind of see it in the camera right here. That's where the studio light's hitting the frame. You can see the shadow whenever I put my hand up, and it just looks like the rest of the screen. And this is a pretty dark wallpaper, so that is honestly impressive. The anti-glare is absolutely impressive. Oh, okay, yeah, this looks and feels absolutely amazing. The gamma is kind of high in the game right now, but I think it's just because we're in ArcCorp Habs. It's a little bright. Honestly, like this is raw. What you're seeing here is raw. Like, it is dark in here, and that thing is bright. We're running on Vulkan now in Star Citizen, so this should be a very HDR intensive experience, and I'm kind of excited to get into space and see a ship. Going to the spaceport, gonna give myself some peaches. This looks absolutely beautiful. Look, you guys don't have to subscribe. I know I'm an absolute insane person, but that makes it even better. And if you like this video, be sure to at least leave a thumbs up if you don't subscribe, but that's the best way to help the channel and keep moving forward so we can keep having fun like this. Okay, we are here, and this looks too good to be true. Like it's almost hard to believe that this is an OLED monitor. It feels like a mini OLED. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like a mini OLED TV. Like, this is really good. So after playing two of the most cinematic games, in my opinion, I have some thoughts. As for the overall feel of the monitor, images, games, environments feel so much more alive, so much more lifelike than ever before. It's kind of a good combination between the depths of the true blacks being even darker, and then on top of that, you also have the highlights that aren't completely blown out, and it doesn't feel like it's overworking itself to try to push those highlights. I think obviously we're really early in tandem OLED monitors, so it's hard to tell right now if it's going to outlive or outlast any of the OLEDs that we've been using for years. But if you're already looking at an OLED monitor and you've already done your research and you know the bad side effects that come along with owning an OLED monitor, then you've already accepted that. And the only thing that Tandem OLED has done is improve on the good things that come along with owning an OLED monitor. So technically, you can't go wrong. If you're looking for an OLED, Tandem OLED is going to be the route. As a 27-inch monitor, you're looking at a $599 price point. And for all of this new technology and all of these new benefits, I think a $599 price point on a Tandem OLED 27-inch monitor is absolutely insane. If you're loving the content, be sure to smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.